unlock the hidden wisdom of Proverbs 1. Welcome, seekers of truth, to the illuminated path where the words of Proverbs chapter 1 echo like a bell amidst the fog of ignorance. Have you ever wondered why wisdom so vast and profound chose to clothe itself in paradoxes and enigmas? Why the whispers of true understanding always seem to dance at the edge of our perception, like fleeting shadows under the flickering light of consciousness? Today, we will dive into the depths of these ancient proverbs, unveiling hidden layers that challenge common sense and inspire the soul to a fervent quest. Imagine for a moment that wisdom is a crystalline spring hidden in a dense thicket of intertwined beliefs. Charles Spurgeon, with his unparalleled eloquence, teaches us that truth often wears the cloak of contradiction to test our determination. Wisdom cries aloud in the street, in the markets she raises her voice, says the sacred text. But who truly listens when the clamor of the external world drowns out the necessary silence to hear the heart of wisdom? It is believed that truth is simple, but what if simplicity is the most ingenious of traps? Consider the bold assertion: folly is set before fools, but wisdom hides on the lips of the prudent. How many times have you faced the temptation to accept things as they are presented without questioning? True wisdom does not reveal itself to lazy eyes, but rather to those who seek with fervor and discernment. Each sentence of Proverbs chapter 1 is a veiled invitation, a key that can unlock portals to deeper realities. If you are willing to follow the trail and face the revelation that awaits, here is a fragment of mystery. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. How can we understand this fear that is not mere fright, but a reverence that transforms the essence of the one who beholds it? Spurgeon frequently highlighted that this fear is a lighthouse amidst life's storms, a force that both humbles human pride and exalts the soul thirsting for truth. What does it truly mean to fear God, and how can this feeling be the foundation that supports all wisdom? Feel the urgency of this quest, each word a step on a journey that can redefine your existence. Finally, reflect on the solemn warning. My son, if sinners entice you with blandishments, do not consent. How easy it is to be seduced by the easier path, by the smooth voice promising immediate gratification. However, Spurgeon reminds us that resistance to these temptations is the initial test of a life dedicated to true wisdom. What is truly at stake when we yield to the whispers of ease? And what do we gain by standing firm, even when the road proves arid and lonely? Join us in this video, where each revelation is a new layer of understanding, and each pause an invitation to dive deeper. Do not look away, for every second is a crucial piece of the mosaic that forms the true comprehension of the teachings of Proverbs chapter 1. Welcome, seekers of light, to a journey that unveils the hidden secrets in Proverbs chapter 1, where each word is a golden thread weaving the tapestry of eternal wisdom. Have you ever questioned why so many essential truths are wrapped in veils of deceptive simplicity? Why true wisdom chooses to reveal itself only to those willing to listen beyond the incessant noise of daily life? The key to these mysteries lies in the heart's disposition, in that unquenchable thirst that drives us to seek more, to desire more than the eyes can see and the superficial mind can comprehend. Imagine wisdom as an underground river whose crystal clear waters flow silently, ignored by the turbulent surface of our lives. Charles Spurgeon, with his ability to turn words into flames that illuminate the darkness of ignorance, teaches us that true wisdom is a hidden treasure requiring diligent excavation and a penetrating gaze. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the markets, she raises her voice, But who is willing to silence the world to hear this call? To what depths are you willing to descend to capture the echoes of this truth that resonates in the secret chambers of the heart? Contemplate the statement that challenges ingrained beliefs. Folly is set before fools, but wisdom hides on the lips of the prudent. How many times have we allowed the world's folly to blind us to the wise stillness dwelling within our soul? Spurgeon emphasized that true wisdom is not a spectacle to be seen, but an essence to be internalized. Prudence is not mere caution, but an understanding that helps us discern pure gold from gilded illusions. Feel the tension between what you know and what you feel is true, and let that tension guide you through the lines of this ancient text. Deeper reflections emerge when pondering the fear of the Lord as the beginning of knowledge. This fear is not a mere fleeting emotion, but a transformative reverence that shapes the essence of those who embrace it. Spurgeon often illustrated this concept as a lighthouse amidst the storms of human existence, a light that both reveals and redefines our path. What does it truly mean to fear God? How can this attitude be the foundation supporting all other virtues and knowledge? Feel the urgency of this quest, a call resounding in your soul, urging you to question the foundations of your own journey. Finally, let us consider the solemn warning. My son, if sinners entice you with blandishments, do not consent. The smooth voice of sin promises easy paths and immediate gratifications, but Spurgeon alerts us that resisting these temptations is the initial test for true wisdom. Every choice is a turning point, shaping the soul's destiny. What is at stake when we opt for ease? And what is the silent reward for those who stand firm, even when the road proves arid and lonely? Join us, for each revelation in this video is a step toward deeper understanding, each pause a necessary breath for the soul to assimilate the magnitude of what is being revealed. Do not look away. Every second is a key to unlocking the enigma that is Proverbs chapter 1. We continue then with souls already stirred by the quest, delving deeper into the mysteries of Proverbs chapter 1. The voice crying out for wisdom is not just any whisper, but a thunder that reverberates in the darkest caverns of our being. Why do men despise wisdom? The sacred text inquires, and here, under Spurgeon's subtle guidance, we are led to question the very motivations that drive us. Could it be that amidst distractions, we relegate wisdom to a secondary place, opting for the ephemeral glitter of trivialities? Now visualize wisdom as a leafy tree whose fruits have an unparalleled flavor, but whose roots require effort to reach. Spurgeon, with his ability to metamorphose words into life lessons, makes us realize that true wisdom is a precious commodity, not one without an internal struggle against laziness and complacency. Wisdom is for sale, but who is willing to bargain? He might say, your journey is this constant negotiation, an exchange where the essence of your existence is at stake. Let us advance boldly to challenge the beliefs that limit us. Folly is joy to the fool, but wisdom is the light that illuminates the prudent. Here, we break the expectation that happiness resides in ignorance. Spurgeon teaches us that true joy is the fruit of a clear and profound understanding of the reality surrounding us. The light of wisdom not only illuminates the path, but also reveals the hidden beauty in difficulties. How have you found joy in your life? Could it be that folly disguised as happiness has diverted you from true contentment? Let us delve deeper into the concept of the fear of the Lord, that cornerstone of knowledge. It is not a fear that paralyzes, but a respect that impels transformation. Spurgeon compared this fear to a seed that, upon germinating, breaks the hard ground of the human heart, allowing virtues to flourish. How has the fear of the Lord shaped your journey, we urge? Is your life a reflection of this reverence? Or have you been walking on the surface, ignoring the strength that can emerge from the depths of your faith? We conclude this section with a reflection on resisting temptations. The simple are easy prey for evil, but the prudent find refuge in wisdom. How many times have you found yourself on the edge of a precipice, tempted to choose the path that seems more welcoming, only to discover it is a disguised abyss? Spurgeon invites us to silently identify with the prudent, to find in wisdom a shield against the world's seductions. Feel the urgency of this transformation, the need to re-evaluate every choice, every consent. Join us, for the road becomes steeper, and each step reveals new layers of understanding that will redefine your perception of truth. Let us advance, intrepid souls, to the third block of our immersion into the mysteries of Proverbs chapter 1. Here, the metaphor of wisdom expands, becoming a banquet filled with refined dishes whose flavor is only appreciated by those who develop their palate through experience and reflection. Wisdom builds her house, but folly tears it down with her own hands, says the proverb. Have you ever stopped to observe the foundations of your life? To what extent are your daily choices building a temple of wisdom, or inadvertently undermining the foundations with acts of foolishness? At this point in the journey, let Spurgeon's voice guide us through a labyrinth of beliefs and shadows. He, with his unique ability to intertwine theology with human psychology, makes us see that each choice is a brushstroke painting the picture of our existence. Have we truly listened to wisdom, or just nodded in superficial agreement? He would question. True hearing requires more than ears. It demands an open heart and a mind willing to be challenged and reshaped. Let us now contemplate the duality between a life guided by prudence and one dragged down by recklessness. The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. Here, we are invited to reflect on our own perception of risks and safety. Spurgeon teaches us that true security lies not in the absence of danger, but in the ability to discern the right time to advance and retreat. How have you been dealing with the signs life presents you? Is there a silent dance between fear and courage within you? A dance that Proverbs chapter 1 wishes to make harmonious? Let us delve even deeper into the fear of the Lord, that essence that perfumes true wisdom. Spurgeon would compare this fear to a shield, a protection that not only defends but also defines the trajectory of our lives. How has the fear of the Lord shaped your most crucial decisions? We provoke. It is in reverence for something greater that we find the courage to face the darkest dilemmas, to choose the path less traveled, the one that truly leads to fulfillment. We finalize this block with an invitation to introspection. Temptation is a fiery trial for the soul. When Proverbs warns against yielding to the blandishments of sinners, we stand before a mirror reflecting our capacity for self-mastery. Spurgeon would encourage us to see each temptation as an opportunity to strengthen the soul's resilience. What has been the outcome of your fiery trials? Allow each doubt, each question to be a breath that fans the flame of wisdom in your heart, illuminating the path forward towards a revelation that transcends the obvious. Join us, for the journey is just beginning to reveal its most intricate contours. We proceed then to the fourth block of our narrative exploration, where the words of Proverbs chapter 1 intertwine with the eloquence of Charles Spurgeon, forming an irresistible invitation to inner transformation. Wherein lie the true riches of a human being? We inquire, as Spurgeon urges us to look beyond worldly treasures. Wisdom here is presented as the most precious of assets, one that is not corrupted by time, that does not fade with the changes of fortune. As we navigate these deep waters, allow the image of wisdom as a lamp in a dark night to fix itself in your mind. It illuminates the path of man and leads him through the shadows to eternal peace, Spurgeon might say. Your journey is this illuminated walk where each step taken towards wisdom is a step away from ignorance and disorder. How have you held this lamp? Have you allowed it to guide your steps, or let it extinguish under the veil of daily worries? Here, the psychological tension intensifies as we confront the reality that the man of understanding listens and increases his learning, but the heart of fools is not inclined to it. Spurgeon teaches us that the disposition of the heart determines the capacity to learn and grow. There is a silent invitation for you to examine your own heart. Have you kept it open, receptive to the truth that destabilizes and rebuilds, or have you clung to the comfortable certainties that folly offers? Let us also consider wisdom as a stern yet loving teacher. She sits at the entrance gate and whispers, "Know thyself, and thou shalt know the universe." This profound self-knowledge is what Spurgeon saw as the starting point for a life of meaning and purpose. How have you responded to this teacher's whispers? The courage for self-knowledge is the same courage that lifts you above the temptations, diverting you from the path of virtue. Finally, let us dive into the reflection on perseverance in the face of trials. The patience of the righteous will be praised, affirms the sacred text. Spurgeon teaches us that every resisted temptation, every trial faced with dignity, is a glorious chapter in the story of our soul. How have you been writing the chapters of your own life? The resistances you build are invisible monuments to your inner strength, and every fall is a lesson that, if listened to attentively, strengthens the structure of your being. Join us, for the narrative unfolds like an ancient scroll, revealing truths that cry out to be lived, not just known. Every second of this video is an invitation to dive deeper, to feel the truth resonating in your essence. Do not allow superficiality to be your guide. Let the wisdom of Proverbs chapter 1 and the eloquence of Spurgeon lead you to a higher state of perception, where the answers are less important than the questions that continue to shape your soul. In the fifth block of our reflective journey, the emotional tension reaches its peak as we approach the wisdom encapsulated in Proverbs chapter 1, filtered through the illuminated perspective of Charles Spurgeon. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her, says the proverb, and herein lies an invitation to transcendence. Have you ever tasted the eternal life that springs from the deep roots of wisdom? True understanding is not just intellectual knowledge, but an experience that nourishes and vivifies the soul. Spurgeon, with his ability to transform scriptures into sermons that touch the innermost being, leads us to consider wisdom as an intimate friend and wise counselor. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her, he would point out. At what point in your life did you trade the ephemerality of desires for the eternity of wisdom? The reflection here is an invitation to re-evaluate priorities, to feel the weight of true wealth in contrast to the vanities that vanish like mist in the sun. let us proceed with the metaphor of wisdom as a lighthouse amidst the stormy sea of human existence. The waywardness of the simple will kill them, but the prudent are guided by wisdom. Here, we are challenged to recognize the subtlety of the deviations life presents. Spurgeon teaches us that prudence is not just a character trait, but a lifestyle that keeps us on the right course. How have you navigated the waters of your existence? Has prudence been your compass, or have you been diverted by invisible currents of deceptive simplicity? Let us delve even deeper into the idea of the fear of the Lord as the foundation of wisdom. Spurgeon would describe this fear as a flame that, while containing heat that can burn the ego, also offers light that reveals the true nature of all things. How has this flame illuminated your darkest nights, we ask? The fear of the Lord is not a cloak of fear, but armor of reverence that protects and purifies the heart. We conclude this block with a reflection on the soul's resilience. Those who dwell in true wisdom laugh at fear, for in it they find the certainty of their faith. Spurgeon reminds us that true strength is not manifested in the absence of fear, but in the ability to face it and transform it into confidence. How have you dealt with the fears presented to you? Have they been your tormentors or your teachers? Feel the urgency of this transformation, the need to redefine each fear as a step towards higher understanding. Join us, for the narrative is not yet complete. Each word here is a thread leading to a larger tapestry of understanding, each pause a necessary breath for the soul to assimilate the depth of what is being revealed. Do not allow yourself to stray. Every moment is crucial, so that in the end the tapestry of wisdom unveils itself in all its glory, and you can feel the emotional and spiritual transformation that Proverbs chapter 1 promises to those who truly seek. And now, dear friends, we reach the climax of our journey, where every whispered truth intertwines into a sublime chorus of revelation and introspection. Wisdom, that silent companion, does not bid farewell at the end of this video, but echoes within you like an unforgettable melody. Have you felt the weight and beauty of this quest? Every reflection shared here was an invitation for you to look deeper within yourself, to realize that true wisdom is a treasure polished through experience and the willingness of the heart. Remember the leafy tree of wisdom, whose fruits are only reached by those who persevere on the journey. Your life, like the roots of that tree, must deepen in the fertile soil of questioning and growth. With every prudent choice, every resistance to superficial temptations, you not only live more fully, but also contribute to building a lasting legacy. How do you see yourself now in the light of this understanding? Allow this image to resonate in your mind, transforming every future action. Contemplate the flame of the fear of the Lord, which does not burn, but illuminates. It reveals hidden paths and highlights the beauty in difficulties. Spurgeon understood this flame as a divine beacon, a guide that transforms the darkness of doubt into a field of stars of spiritual certainties. Feel this light guiding your steps. Even after this video ends, it is the force that redefines your existence, that shapes every decision with the precision of a divine sculptor. Remember that every resisted temptation, every moment of prudence, are like notes in a symphony of the soul. They create a harmony that resonates at a high frequency, music that only wise hearts can hear. True transformation is not found at the end of a path, but in the continuous process of becoming more than one is. How will you conduct the symphony of your own life from now on? What new notes will be added to your eternal song of seeking. We conclude with a symbolic and purposeful invitation. Make your life a canvas where the wisdom of Proverbs chapter 1 is painted with brushstrokes of courage and authenticity. As you feel the impact of this journey, let your soul manifest. Like this video as a gesture of approval for this incessant quest. Comment, share, subscribe. For you are not just following a channel, but embracing a community of spirits seeking something greater. And when the next recommended video flashes on your screen, see it as a natural continuation of this symphony of wisdom. Allow yourself to dive deeper, for true transformation is an endless river whose waters continually shape and refresh the soul.